Southwest Florida is no stranger to hurricanes, flooding, and rising temperatures. At the Conservancy of Southwest Florida, we're working to ensure our communities are not just prepared, but resilient.
The Conservancy has been working on sort of climate as an issue for a while, as it's sort of woven in through a lot of our other work. So we've been exploring the ways that we want to contribute to local resilience.
With stronger storms and more frequent flooding, the question isn't if we'll be affected, but when and how we choose to prepare.
One of the key ways has been working in the space around nature-based solutions. We know that ecological systems, they're really integral to our quality of life, but they're also really integral to our protection from a lot of these impacts, including flooding and heat and whatnot. There are some instances where hard infrastructure makes sense, but there are a lot of trade-offs with hard infrastructure. The integrity of our dune systems for nesting, so for our sea turtle nesting, for our shorebird nesting, even impacts on water quality, the ability of beaches to do what beaches need to do in a natural setting.
Naples is leading the way, having completed a vulnerability assessment and an adaptation plan that highlights nature-based solutions.
One of the strategies in that adaptation plan does point to exploring nature-based solutions. So I think at this point, our approach would be to think about, are there opportunities in sort of our home turf to start to look at these options and start to reach out and communicate with people about what those could look like as a way to interact with a community that's been very proactive. We want to support the people who are part of this process, this adaptation process. We want to support them in their process of doing that and doing that in a balanced way. One of the things that would be great is for people to try and see if their community has been doing planning. The City of Naples is a great example where you can just do a search for City of Naples and resiliency. It goes to their webpage. You can take a look at their vulnerability assessment. You can take a look at their adaptation plan, and that'll help you understand a little bit about what our local community is facing. Wanting to see that balance where we don't lose what's really important for our quality of life and our environmentally based economy is to be asking those folks engaged in planning, to be asking your city officials, your county officials, to be really thoughtful in their planning, to be, looking at nature-based and what we call hybrid. Those are those options that look at the best of both worlds. And to be asking, can you explore what those could look like for us? Can you help us, implement those? So I think, asking for those is going to be really important.
Naples is no stranger to the power of nature. Rising sea levels, stronger storms, and extreme weather are real challenges. That's why the city is taking action.
So the city has completed an adaptation plan and vulnerability assessment. And we are in the process of working through the adaptation strategies, and this is a list of 47 strategies that will help us become more resilient to future flooding and heat concerns.
Some strategies are already in action. The city is making sure resilience is built into every new project.
So if they were in the design stage, we went ahead and made sure that resilience efforts were included in that design, and if they were in actual construction, we looked to make sure that they did adhere to resilience measures.
Naples is balancing natural solutions with smart infrastructure.
We're working closely with the Conservancy of Southwest Florida to help us develop some ideas for nature-based solutions in our area. In addition, the Army Corps of Engineers has also proposed some nature-based solutions, which we'll find out about when they complete their study for Collier County.
Collaboration is key, and residents play a big role.
We also reach out to community groups like HOAs and give updates on what we're working on now. And, we try to keep everyone as informed as possible.
Naples is committed to a resilient future, but resilience takes funding, planning, and community support.
As the resilience efforts continue, we are going to need quite a bit of funding in order to, make our city more resilient. Help us help you. We would really like for the residents to support those efforts. Anytime you want to reach out and get some questions answered or just have a conversation, feel free to reach out to me and we can have a conversation.
Together, we can build a stronger and more resilient Naples. Collier County's beaches, more than just a scenic destination, they are a crucial barrier protecting our homes, businesses, and infrastructure from the power of the sea.
So the beach dunes really are our first line of defense against hurricanes. And they provide that protection when we get high winds and high wave energy.
But recent storms have devastated our coastline.
But we've had several significant storms over the last few years that have really eroded our beaches, and they've impacted the ecosystem that builds those dunes. And with those gone, we really can't trap and keep sand in place that builds that natural protective barrier.
That's why this project is so vital. Restoring 13 miles of coastline with 1 million native plants to rebuild our dunes and protect our future.
So really the goal was to restore that ecosystem. So it's an environmental project, but it also impacts the community. It impacts economics, because beaches really are the economic engine of our community.
Dunes are more than just sand and sea oats. A thriving, resilient dune ecosystem depends on biodiversity.
Some of the other species like the sea oats, they're the core of the ecosystem. We didn't find those plants planted out in restoration projects, and we quickly realized that as a botanical garden, we conserve plants. We also conserve ecosystems. And here we have one of our most important ecosystems. It's our protective barrier. It holds sand in place for the beaches, which are our economic engine, and it needed restored. But we need all of those other species that are part of that web to be there to ensure that the beach dunes are healthy and resilient. They cannot recover as quickly if we do not have all of the biodiversity that they need to be a functioning ecosystem.
A resilient coastline starts with all of us. Every plant, every action, every effort helps protect our beaches for future generations.
This Beach Dune Restoration project is just the beginning. As our community really continues to invest in protecting our beaches, protecting our tourism industry, we're working with the city and the county to improve management practices on the beach. This planting is the first planting, and it will take time for it to grow in. We really need that support from the entire community to ensure that we do this appropriately. The other thing that people can do is, when you come out on the beach, don't put your beach chairs in the dunes and don't walk in the dunes. Really, we want to keep just that impact can have long-lasting impacts on the plants that are there. So we really want to make sure that people respect the plants and please keep off of the dunes to ensure that we can have these healthy, protective ecosystems.
By working together, we can restore our dunes and secure the future of Collier County, one plant at a time.